Hey guys, it's Rooi, and yeah, I've finally tried therapy. I say finally because I've struggled with my mental health since I was a kid, yet avoided therapy until my mid-20s, mostly because I didn't like the idea of needing help. I've always had a tough love kind of mentality toward myself, where I think I gotta figure out how to deal with my own because it's a tough world out there, kid. To me, the idea of going to a therapist was like asking someone to hold my hand and lead me through life like a baby. But that perspective began to shift in my early 20s, and it was because of this famous Korean psychologist named Dr. Oh. When I say famous, I mean at that time she was hosting 3 different shows. One where she did counseling for celebrities, one where she did counseling for parents, and another where she did counseling for married couples. And I was eating all that up. I was so impressed with Dr. Oh's performance in these shows that it inspired me to try and find a therapist for myself. So I went on Google, searched for the best rated counseling offices, and scheduled a 15-minute intro call with a therapist. But when the call finally happened, I was so disappointed. It was not like in Dr. Oh's shows at all. I don't know, me and the therapist just didn't really vibe. That was several years ago, and it was the last time I seriously considered seeing a therapist until now. So why, after years, did I decide to give therapy another shot? Well, number one, I've tried a lot of things for my mental health since then and made a lot of progress, but honestly, anxiety's still a And number two, wait, what? My health insurance actually covers it now? So now that I've been seeing a therapist for a couple months, I feel like I can finally share a legitimate opinion on therapy. In many ways, therapy was not what I had expected going in. First off, I didn't realize how hard it can be to find a good therapist for myself, and how discouraging it can be when it doesn't work out with a therapist. Especially when it's your first time trying, and especially when you're already feeling emotionally overwhelmed. I mean, I felt so disappointed after that first intro call didn't work out that I didn't look again for years. Turns out finding a good therapist for yourself is an art in and of itself. Me being clueless before, I had no idea what to look for, so I was just like, I'll find the best one, I guess. But turns out there is no best one. It's about finding the right match specifically for you. So this time, instead of searching for the best rated counseling offices, I searched for therapists whose descriptions felt most relevant to me, even if they had no online reviews. Thankfully, many of them let you do a quick intro call to check for compatibility before committing to a full session, at least where I live. Learning from last time, I was prepared to kiss a few frogs before finding the one. But luckily this time it worked out with the first therapist I called. She specializes in anxiety and relevant subjects, has personal experience overcoming challenges similar to mine, and is very knowledgeable about the things I want to address. Most importantly, even before I voiced my concerns about feeling like a baby and whatnot, she mentioned that she avoids creating an overdependence on counseling, and her goal is for her clients to eventually not need her counseling anymore. Perfect. Secondly, I feel like most opinions on therapy online fall into one of two extremes. For some people, therapy saved their life, and they think everyone should be seeing a therapist. For others, they think it's all a load of bullshit. I thought that I also would either come to love or hate therapy, but to my surprise, I feel neither way. Therapy wasn't life-changing for me, to be honest. And I don't think it's the most effective thing for me personally, but I do think that it has had an overall positive impact on me thus far. It kind of varies from session to session too. Sometimes my therapist says something where I'm like, damn, that was kind of profound. And then I think about it for days after the session, and it reorients the noodles in my brain. But then other times I come out of a session having not really learned anything new. Lastly, virtual therapy. At first, I really wanted to have in-person appointments, but that's just not a great option for me right now, so I reluctantly tried virtual, and it's great. So, what do I think of therapy now? Do I feel like a baby holding my therapist's hand through life? No, I don't. Let me revise the analogy now that I've had my first-hand experience. Going to therapy for me is like meeting with a personal trainer to get better at working out. But instead of working out your body, you're working out your mental. Some people hesitate on trying therapy because they think it'll make them feel weak or like they're a person with problems. That is not how it made me feel, but it does make me feel like I'm now a mental health nut. Like, Yeah, I'm the type of guy who goes to therapy or whatever. Do you even know how to self-regulate, bro? Based on my personal experience, do I recommend therapy? Yeah, sure, why not? It's not for everyone, but if you're struggling with your mental health and therapy is a viable option for you, then I think why not give it a try if you haven't already. Of the many things I've tried for my mental health so far, I'd say it's one of the good ones. And even if I don't swear by it, I think it's still awesome that therapy is more accessible and celebrated than ever before. Because for some people, it's life-saving. Even if therapy is not for you, there's still a lot of great resources for those who want to work on things on their own. I'll share some of my favorites in the description, and if you have recommendations of your own, share them too in the comments below. Well, that's it, I guess. Bye!